based on what I hear. But
Fair.
anyway, all right. First up, sounds much better. Okay, yeah, awesome. That's great. All right. So what got you into VTubing?
Oh boy, let me think about that for a minute. Okay, so like, hmm, technically, I started watching VTubing way back when there wasn't an like English VTubers weren't around yet. It was just Japanese ones. And I was watching a little bit of I think her name was Korone. She was like the
Yeah,
dog girl.
Krone.
Yeah, I watched her a little bit, and then I saw another member of Hololive who said a racial word, but in GTA, and it was funny. And then I just kind of forgot about it for a while. And then I found out about Project Melody and her other stream,
Mm-hmm.
and then all was quiet for a while. I didn't hear anything about VTubers at all for a long time. And then in like 2018, I think, maybe 2017 or 18, I started watching Iron Mouse. I was
Mm-hmm.
watching Iron Mouse a whole lot, and it was because I was a big fan of Connor, Sea Dog VA,
Mm-hmm.
and Iron Mouse was really inspirational for me because I actually have autism and ADHD,
Mm.
and so I often have had social problems and stuff throughout my life that have made my life really difficult. And seeing that she had physical disabilities made me feel like part of me wanted to do it because I was like, if she can do it, maybe I could. But I still was like, but I'll probably never do it because I used to do content creation for years and years. I was a YouTuber on and off for many years, doing like online abridged series and voice acting and stuff like that, and animated music videos, just all kinds of stuff. Doing all kinds of stuff on, and like I was moderator for various communities. Like if you've ever heard of Blistered Thumbs, I was actually a mod for them and was part
Mm.
of their community podcast and stuff. And yeah, anyway, um, what happened was I still thought, oh, but I'll probably never do this because every time I ever tried to be a YouTuber before, I would have brief success and then it would fall off like immediately. I was like oftentimes just kind of a short-lived, and what would happen is I would get so depressed about it, I would quit. So I was like, I probably won't even bother. Then I moved to Florida. Um, I won't say specifically where, but when I did, I pretty much, like, my friends obviously changed and everything, and I didn't really have anybody, and I was lonely and really depressed. And so what I did was I kind of spent a stimulus check on a new computer.
Yeah.
And I got a gaming computer. And because I'd been watching this guy named Drumsy do VR chat, and I was like, I can make some friends on VR chat. So that's what I did, and I did make some friends at first. But then I was like, I want a VTuber model because at the time they offered it as a Vroid on a website. Like somebody was gonna make them for you as a Vroid, and I was like, okay, if I get that, it can be both used in VR chat and be a VTuber model. That way I don't feel bad for spending $80, which to me was a lot of money at the time, on a Vroid.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know anything about like Vroids at all at the time. And so that is, I decided to stream on a whim because I was like, why the heck not? I got the Vroid. It makes me feel better about wasting 80 whole dollars on a VR chat model. I'll probably be on VR chat for years to come, but VTubing, I'll probably do 3 streams and quit. So I did that, and most of my friends on VR chat disappeared. And VTubing, I absolutely loved it, and I've been doing it for about a year ever since. My first stream was on Twitch as a VTuber, September 1st, 2021, and I used to have a female model because I'm actually gender fluid. But I just decided that it was easier to go with a model that's the same as my biological sex, so I just went with male now.
Mm-hmm. All right. No, that's a very interesting start. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people, they have that little spurt of like inspiration and like the little bit of drive when they first start, and then they just kind of.
Yeah, my biggest inspiration lately has been Zentreya, actually.
Oh.
But yeah, like honestly, it's the funniest thing. I did it out of loneliness and getting the gaming computer, and then I got a VTuber model on a whim, basically for VR chat, and was like, "Ah, I'll try it. It'll probably go nowhere." Boy, was I wrong.
All right. Yeah, it's a pretty good. It's pretty good. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, you already did. The next question
Oh,
is.
I'm on YouTube now, so don't worry about my Twitch link.
Yeah,
I
I
can post my. Oh yeah, you did. Okay,
already
cool.
did it. I put it in chat.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on YouTube now.
All right. Well, you did say that you had started. Was it September in 2021?
Yeah, the first actually, and that didn't. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened to be on the first.
Put your hands up. You're arrested for being an imposter. It's no. This Daisy. No, not the time. Not the time. All right. I mean, did you? I guess did you find it difficult getting started?
Okay, so yes. But and this is a piece of advice I give to you guys if you're just getting started. If you're having problems with like commentary and stuff, because even though I'm a total chatterbox and an extrovert, it can be really hard starting out because you have zero viewers. So it's really hard to have anybody to talk to when there's, literally nobody in the chat.
Hmm.
So what I recommend is bring a friend and just talk with them on the stream, and gradually the viewers will come in, and then you could do what I do or did, gradually move towards being more independent as your chat sort of kind of grows. So eventually you can just be doing it on your own, and that friend can also be like your first mod, and then they stay on as your mod for the foreseeable future or until they lose interest.
Hmm.
Mine kind of lost interest after a while, so I had to get new mods.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Definitely. I think that's actually solid advice. I mean, not a whole lot of people can like just sit and talk to themselves for hours on end.
Yeah, and it was very difficult. I feel like I was truly blessed in a way
Hmm.
because I had that friend at the beginning, and then later I was starting to gradually get some viewers, but it was unstable, because at first people are still figuring you out, that sort of thing. And then what really hit it was a Minecraft stream I did. And I was never thought I'd even play Minecraft. I was just depressed and was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do Minecraft. And I told people the key to happiness. And I ended up clipping that and making it a video. But the people on stream at the time were very inspired by me. And then the video version has inspired many people since then. And I think that's what got my initial big push to get a lot of people to join me, because that was very inspirational for them.
Hmm.
And currently, I'm kind of on a downswing. My second big push was when I started really niching down onto Yakuza on YouTube. That really grew my audience for a while too. But I feel like a lot of them are kind of dropping off right now. So I'm currently trying to work towards my next big push, which is putting greater emphasis on my voice acting abilities to show what I can do.
Hmm.
And also gonna try to start moving more towards also doing more just chatting streams when I can. Um, and I don't know. We'll see. Sorry if that was long.
No, you're okay. It's like this. It's all what you want to say. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem just sitting here listening to you talk.
Oh, trust me. If you're not careful, we'll be here all day if you let me talk.
Okay. So, I see that you talk about you're doing like gaming streams. You do like just chatting. You're also showing off your voice acting abilities. Uh,
I
when did you really
also have a sword.
Oh, very nice.
Yee.
Uh, when did you, or rather, how did you decide that's the content that you wanted to do?
Which one?
Uh, like your voice acting, your.
Oh, well, like I said, I've been doing voice acting on and off on like YouTube and various websites
Mm-hmm.
for God, as far back as I think. Okay, well, technically, my own sort of practice at it my whole life, but I was in a bunch of abridged series in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've also been in a few minor audio dramas and stuff like that. So voice acting has kind of been my thing. And then but way before that, I've always done voice impressions like
Mm-hmm.
it's a giraffe. Like totally, dude. Zoinks. Wow, Rinkies. You know.
That's very, very impressive, actually.
Oh, Zuzabaz. Yeah, I can do over 100. Yeah.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I myself can only do a couple of impressions. I wouldn't do them right now. My throat is kind of trying to collapse on itself. So
I want to show you real quick two more. The lowest and first one, the lowest male voice I can do, arguably, and then a surprise.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Foolish little brother, you lack hatred. And then
Itachi.
the other one, yes. And then this other one, you is also from Naruto, but it's not what you're gonna expect.
Okay.
See if I can. Okay, I might mess this one up because sometimes I'm really good at this, and sometimes I mess up. So, is this like the upper limits of what I can do? Okay. He's kind of changed a bit. Been 2.5 years after all.
Huh.
Hinata.
Ah, okay. That's what I was thinking. I was just like, huh. That's really impressive. That's actually really impressive. Good for you.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. That yeah. As a I guess as a voice actor, having the ability to kind of do impressions, gives you more of a, I guess, kind of a range to be able
Oh yeah, trust me, I can
to.
do a lot of stuff.
But I still think it's pretty impressive. All
Thanks.
right. Is there any content that you wish you could do? Anything that like kind of like
Hmm.
gives you a little bit of like, oh, that seems like it's a pretty cool idea.
I mean, I have a couple things I'm thinking about doing next week.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't know if is that okay? Is it okay if it's stuff I'm thinking about doing next week?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know when yet, but I'm considering. Okay, so like I've been nervous on both of these ideas because, like I said, my viewership's been kind of going down. So I'm worried that without any viewers, I don't know how well these will work. But one is a just chatting while drawing. I'm not that great. Okay, so disclaimer: I'm not that great. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not like an artiste or something. You know, like I'm not bad, but no, I'm not that good. But I just feel like it would be really fun to draw again, and so I want to do a drawing while chatting stream. And then another one I'm thinking about doing is sort of like a role play immersion experience where
Mm-hmm.
basically I have us watch a video of someone taking off on a plane, like, looking at the window seat,
Mm-hmm.
and then a window seat view of landing in Japan. And then they'll see a video of us walking in the streets in Japan, like stuff on YouTube I find,
Uh-huh.
and then like do videos of visiting major places in Tokyo and Kyoto. And like we kind of pretend that me and the chat are walking through Japan together. And like I'll discuss like the things I know about the places that we sort of go to.
Hmm. That's that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, like a sort of a immersive role play kind of thing, kind of.
Me personally, I don't know a whole lot about travel. I've only traveled like a couple places in my entire life. But I guess if you do your research and you know like where exactly it is that video takes place, I think it would be a really good idea.
Yeah, I'm one of my current reasons that I'm in college is because my goal is to teach English in Japan in
Oh,
2026.
that's really impressive.
Yeah. That's my goal. Well, one of them.
Uh,
Another goal is I want to get into a VTuber agency sooner or later.
mm,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, that's a pretty big goal, but I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could do it.
I hope.
um,
Oh, another thing I want to tell you. A big part of my brand is I like to tell my chat how much I love them.
mhm,
And I tell them, at the end of every stream, I tell them that I'm giving them the warmest of hugs. I
mhm,
call them my little hatchlings because I am a phoenix.
uh-huh.
So I am Burb. And I tell them how much I love them and that I'm giving them warm hugs and stuff like that because
Aw.
I feel like that's just a big part of who I am. I care about people, and like I said, a big part of my origin is I was very lonely. So I feel like I want to be that person for other people who might have either gone through some of the hardships that many of us have, or are lonely, or things like that. I want to offer something to them too.
Mhm. Yeah, you want to be that kind of like just that warm personality.
Yeah.
Also, Daisy, no nomming the bird, okay?
You're far from the first person who wanted some KFP in
Yeah.
Custom Fried Phoenix.
Got it. I got it. Good base to make a solid and healthy community. Yeah. I mean, everybody kind of wants that, like, they want that feeling of like, they're kind of close to the people they admire, they watch. So having that
Yeah,
that little bit of reinforcement is, I think it's very wholesome.
the
I
reason
would
I
say.
call them my hatchlings, it's like we're family, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're my hatchlings.
Mm.
Yeah, like we're kind of like a sort of like a family. Yeah.
Aw, I think that's very, very sweet.
Yeah.
All right. How did you come up with the design for your model?
Well, that's kind of funny. Do you mind if I like zoom out and let them see a little bit of me and then I'll go back to the original size after?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, the trench coat is actually because ever since I saw the original Matrix movie, I always loved Neo's lobby trench coat, from like the lobby scene in the Matrix.
Yeah.
And I've always, so if I ever have a character without a trench coat, send help. That's not me. And it's always a black one because again, the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we take off that layer, I'm trying to remember, is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. The sword, I actually own a functional katana in real life, and this is designed after that. And
Ooh.
in my lore, he's actually a talking sword. In sword form, he's Kaze no Fushicho, but when he takes human form, he's played by a friend of mine, and his name's Ikuto.
Ah.
And so he can take human form, much like I'm a phoenix that takes human form. And now the outfit is actually taking the Yakuza 7 or Like a Dragon protagonist and saying, what if I took his outfit, just his clothes, and made it blue instead of red? Because blue's my favorite color, which is also
Mm-hmm.
why I have blue eyes. The brown hair and short hair is designed to be similar to my hair. And then the Phoenix tattoos. I actually have a different design on the back, but I have an art reference for that because obviously there's no back to my model.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these Phoenix tattoos, I actually had an artist design them. Actually, the person who was also the rigger designed the tattoos. So a different artist than the actual model. But yeah, the rigger designed the tattoos. And I just said that I wanted them to be a phoenix, but specifically the type of phoenix I am is designed after a eagle, because I don't like the ones that look a bit more like long-necked and have like peacock feathers. I hate those. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be based on like the design you see from like an eagle. So that's
Ah.
kind of what I went for with the design. And
Okay.
that's it.
I like it. It looks really impressive. It's uh definitely a step up from my model, which I mean, I hope to change one day, but
Yeah, no worries.
that's a problem for future me.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of thinking I want to do on it, but
Yeah.
uh, once again, I want to say it's very impressive looking. I like it a lot.
Thanks.
All right. Um, so what would you say your goal is as a VTuber? You have something that you want to achieve?
Oh yeah, a few. The first thing I want is I want to uh, inspire more people. Um, like what my Key to Happiness video did, which I'll say that in a minute. Um, but I also want a big community because I feel like if that whole family sort of friends, but like we call each other family, but we're more like actually friends, kind of. That sort of warm, wholesome community. I want a big one. I've always I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always wanted to be famous. Who hasn't wanted to be famous? And what I
Mm-hmm.
want to be famous for is making people smile and
Aw.
making people laugh. And I want to give people what I lacked growing up. I
Mm-hmm.
lacked most friends. I was a very lonely kid. I was very depressed. I had a very, let's just say, a very, very bad life. And I want to be people's escape from that. Whatever they got going on, whether it be minor, big, in between, it's all valid. All I'm saying is, I want to be that sort of beacon of light within whatever bit of darkness they have going on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to do. I want to make them laugh. I want to make them smile. I want to bring that joy to them. And another goal of mine, but like I said, I want to be famous for it. So I want like a big community.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like one of those. Look down at the view counter and it says like 500 people viewing right now, live viewers. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
want that. I want that. I can't help it. Okay, I just do. And it's
Yeah.
not even about money or anything like that. Though, don't get me wrong, it'd be awesome to make money doing what I love because there's nothing I love more than being a VTuber. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love it. But it's more about that I want like a bunch of people and to feel like what I do matters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that I helped or impacted people in some way. And then there's also other minor dreams. Like, obviously, I want to be in an agency. I also really want to someday collab with Zentrea. That's a dream of mine.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So
that's
that's definitely one of. Oh, um, I have to be right back. I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm so sorry.
okay. That's fine. Take your time.
Be
All
right
right.
back.
All right. And Rick, were you asking me or were you asking Traveler about the choice between 2D and 3D? Also, I didn't get a chance to say it. Thank you, Lonic Striker. Welcome to the circle. Very nice to have you. Well, the two of you. Okay. Um, the reason why I chose a 3D model was because I didn't know. I kind of my choice to get into VTubing was kind of on a whim. Uh, I'm a little embarrassed to say that. But when I have a tendency to kind of just rush headlong into some things. So I did this, and I did it with very little information. So uh, I just decided what's the quickest and the easiest and the frankly cheapest option to be able to get myself started. And I found that having this my Vroid model uh, was a bit easier. Granted, I did spend some time. I made it myself. I didn't have anybody do it for me. This was all handcrafted, so it's a little bit more. It's got a little bit more love into it, which I mean, personally, I like making things with my own hands. It gives me that sense of like that sense of attachment to it. Uh, Thinking LTD L2D is better. Yeah, Live 2D is Definitely a lot better. Live 2Ds are definitely a lot better, but it's also a more expensive option. You're so handy. Well, I mean, uh, I don't know that feeling of
Sorry
like
about that. It was one of those where it did not want to wait.
oh yeah, I understand. It's completely okay. Uh,
Sorry.
one of my viewers asked, how did you choose between a 2D and a 3D model?
Okay, that's gonna be. I'll say in a minute. But before I answer that, yeah, just to conclude what I said, a big one is to collab with Zentreya, definitely.
Okay, yeah, I think most people have like a person that they want to like a bigger VTuber that they want to collab with.
Another one is Carrot, from My Hollow TV. I would
Ah.
love to collab with Carrot someday, and that one at least feels achievable.
Me personally, it would I would actually like crumble if I ever got to collab with Mori Calliope or
Oh my god. Oh, if we're talking about Hollow, then sorry, you go ahead. Sorry.
that's like Nyanners or Iron Mouse.
We're talking about Hollow. It would be Hollow Stars for me, and it would be Vesper Noir in a heartbeat.
Ooh.
Vesper Noir in a heartbeat. I'm gonna put this way. I am definitely a Vestie. The second I saw him, I was like, oh, this guy's like, he like me for real, for real. Or hang on, let me do the. He like me for real, for no, wrong one. There we go. He like me for real, for real. There we go. Had to make me cry.
All right.
Actually, if I have a version of this model where the crying is animated, but it didn't have the wings. So
Oh.
then it was like, oh, but then I do the crying and with the model with the wings, and the crying's not animated anymore.
Aw.
But yeah,
Well,
the rigger I
sometimes
lost touch with. So yeah, is what it is.
sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. So it's like choose wings or crying. Wings, I guess.
Wings
Like
are-
I can cry, it's just not animated anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I have both versions though. So like if I ever really wanted to switch models to use it, I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so 3D or 2D? Right. Okay, so 3D was what I did at first. So it depends. It depends. If you're just wanting 3D in general, there are a lot of great options. Go for it. But if you're wanting Vroid, okay, it depends. If you want to either put a ton of work and effort into it, and I mean a lot, or money, like a lot, you can make a Vroid stand out from the rest, and you can make it work. But if you're not willing to either invest a ton of work, and I mean a ton, or a lot of money, whichever, um, this is gonna be a hot take. Please don't cancel me. I think Vroids, if you aren't willing to put in a ton of work or a ton of money, you should only do them when you're starting out until you can get something better.
Mhm.
Same with the PNG. And I know that's a hot take, but again, I think you can do PNG. It's just you have to put a ton of work or a ton of money into it, whichever. Otherwise, it's better as something you start out with and then move on to something else.
Mhm.
Preferably live 2D, which is pretty much the most popular thing, really.
Yeah.
But that's just my thoughts on it. And in my case, it was that I like live 2Ds better anyway, so it also came down to personal preference. And since that's what I like better, that's what I went with.
Okay. Yeah. Mine's a V-Road model, and it's kind of just because I'm just starting out. Granted, I did kind of craft a little. I did like make it from scratch. I didn't have anybody really help
Yeah,
me.
and I think, like I said, in both cases, if you're either A, starting out, Vroid is great, just like PNG, or B, if if you're not just starting out, put a ton of work or money into it, and it's still gonna be great. You just gotta really do something to stand out, because
Yeah.
if it's just looking like everyone else who has a Vroid, it's not gonna, nah.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get going. Have fun, you two, and remember to stretch and hydrate. Know that you are loved and worthy always. All right, bye bye, Daisy. Thank you for
Bye
popping
bye.
in.
Bye bye. That's a reference because at the end of my streams, I say I'm giving you all hugs, blah blah blah, and then I go bye
Aw,
bye.
okay.
Yeah.
Next one. Do you still remember how you feel? How you felt? I don't know why I said felt. Uh, you remember how you still felt when you first debuted?
Hmm. When I first debuted, period, or when I first debuted and people were actually watching?
Uh, I guess we could just say when the very first time you debuted.
Okay, so to probably 0 viewers. Got it. Uh, I didn't really feel much of anything. Maybe a bit hyper and excited, I guess. So yeah, maybe a bit excited, but I just kind of, oh, I remember because my first model was a Vroid of a goth woman, and so the very first thing I said at the very beginning as my first sentence on my very first stream. Here's what it was. I'll quote it because I remember it by heart. Many of you want to have a big titty goth GF, except like I stuttered the word, but yeah.
Uh
And I said, but I, however, am a big brain. I became the big titty goth GF.
huh. Oh my
That was the first
goodness.
thing I said on my first stream.
Oh man, if only I had that big of a brain.
Yeah.
I'm I'm just a silly little goofy little guy. I
Yeah.
don't I don't you're thinking on a whole nother level. You're playing 5D chess over there.
Yeah, it's ironic because nowadays I joke about being a bird brain all the time or a bird
Mm-hmm.
brain because I can be kind of forgetful.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rick wants to see that big titty goth GF.
Oh, I have that Vroid, but I shouldn't right now. But let's just say I have every model I've used. I still have them.
Mm.
One of them was a live 2D actually, but okay, crazy. My key to happiness video was with that female live 2D, which what happened was I found out the person who created the model for me stole the head from someone else's model. So I
Mm.
stopped using it because I'm not going to use something that doesn't belong to me. But that
Right.
was kind of traumatizing because it took months for me to find out.
Oh.
At like 3 or 4 months, I think it took for me to find out. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh crap. So then I went back to Vroid for a while until this model was made. It was a newer Vroid though, because my original Goth GF Vroid was actually kind of crap. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was ripped off.
Yeah.
So I had a friend who was my mod at the time make the newer Vroid that I used right before this model was finished, and then I waited until I had the money and had this one made.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's definitely a different answer than I was expecting.
I
I
was
would.
just kind of excited. I'll put it that way. I was excited, but not like overly so because it was like a hey, this is fun. Why not? Let's just roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know.
Uh, I know myself. I was nervous.
I
Uh,
wasn't even nervous because I figured nobody was gonna watch it. If
yeah.
you think you're gonna get 0 viewers, there's no nervousness because you think nobody will ever see it.
Mm-hmm.
That was me anyway.
Because what I tried to do was before I officially debuted, I tried to build up a following. So I was like on Twitter like most of the day, just like interacting with people, trying to build friends.
Oh
Uh,
my god, I didn't learn the Twitter method until I had been streaming for like a couple weeks. So
oh,
before that, I was streaming on Twitch with no advertising or anything. I just went live for
oh,
like 2 weeks.
yeah. It definitely helps because yeah, you reach a. I mean, you can reach a lot of people, and
Yeah.
I guess the more you interact with people, the more they see it and other people see it.
I didn't want to get a Twitter because people cancel people over small stupid things. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna get a Twitter. That's cancer. But then I think it was Mari Yumi or Saya Fire. I watched both of them, but or I used to. But one of them said you have to get a Twitter if you want to like, promote your stream or something like that. And I was like, okay. And then I ended up addicted to Twitter, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of find myself like if I remember like on my computer or on my phone and I like have like very little else to do, I'll find myself like drifting off to Twitter.
Yup. Mood.
Okay. Well, compared to the day of your debut, do you still get that same feeling when you get prepared to go live?
It depends. Sometimes my emotions can be based on how the previous stream went. So if it
Mm-hmm.
really, really, really well and I had a good turnout, like recently I had a stream that had 9 viewers, which felt pretty good. Not as good as my max. The max I've had is 18. But
Mm-hmm.
um, but I was just happy. But then I had one stream where I was wary because like I said, my viewership's been dipping. And then for 44 minutes I had one viewer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that I got pretty noticeably sad. So it
Oh.
just kind of depends. Yeah, I had to end that stream early because I didn't want to ruin the stream. I was also tired of the game at the time, so I was getting a bit tilted at the game as well, and then being depressed that nobody was there on top of that. Nah, I ended it early. That was yesterday actually. So
Oh. Okay.
yeah. But like I said, I was getting tired of that game anyway, so it was just kind of adding fuel to the fire, you know?
Yeah, I
Uh,
understand.
yeah, like I was getting burnt out on the game. Plus, it was Yakuza 6, and I feel like the combat in that isn't as fun as previous games. So it
Mm-hmm.
was like I wasn't really enjoying it. So, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And but yeah, I one thing I've found myself doing is there's the opposite. Like that stream where I mentioned a few minutes ago that I got, I think it was up to 9 viewers. Um I actually oh wait, no it wasn't that one. It was another one that was recent. I forget was it 5? Anyway, there was a karaoke stream I did because I also sing, but I'm not ready to really show people just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But with karaoke, I don't care because then you're expected to kind of screw it up sometimes. Uh, but then I delete it after, so nobody
uh.
sees it except for the people who were there.
Hmm.
But what happened was at the end of it, I was just telling it like it is. I was like, honestly, guys, without you guys here, I'm just a random nerd on the internet. I pretty much don't matter without people to watch me and be there for me. Like that's what all of us as streamers are. We're just a bunch of random nerds on the internet until somebody watches us.
Mm-hmm.
And I said so I was thanking them and stuff. And I kind of a little embarrassing, but I kind of cried.
Oh.
And I was just thanking them, because it's just kind of it's the truth, without viewers to watch us, we are just kind of, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just feel kind of like we don't really meet our potential as much until there's somebody there to kind of make it an interactive experience. That's kind of the point of a stream.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we're. I mean, the. I mean, I would say that the VTubing scene is very saturated,
yeah.
and so like I'm sure like somebody new pops up every day,
Mm,
and it takes a lot to kind of like stand out amongst the crowd,
mm,
and so like it puts a lot more emphasis on the amount of people that watch us because that gives us that sense of like, okay, yeah, we're somebody worth watching.
yeah. Oh, uh, sorry. Do you mind if I say what I said in that key to happiness thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, um, Okay, I'm gonna paraphrase it as best I can, but basically, if you have, and this is true for a lot of us, we get stuck. And by stuck, I mean like something bad happens in our life, and then another bad thing happens. And then after a while, you kind of get, I guess, used to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you start to get to where you're just depressed all the time, or angry all the time, whichever coping mechanism of negative emotion you go with. But the point is, you just get kind of stuck like that. And um, and the problem is, growing up, I didn't know how to fix that. And I still didn't know that for a lot of my early adult years. That might make you context on my age, but whatever. I'm I'm a millennial. Let's put it that way.
Ah.
But a little bit old. But uh, what happened is no, not necessarily not to give a damn. I'll get to it. But basically, oh, Lonic, he's one of my regulars. Anyway, okay, so what happened was, people told me to stop being negative, but nobody ever told me how to be positive. Nobody even ever used the word positive. They just said stop being negative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you tell people that, you're not really offering an alternative. So, what I realized, and I learned this in 2019, was you focus on the things that make you smile or laugh or that have ever done it. If you're having trouble currently even being able to be happy, think about something that did make you happy before and try to think about those moments and focus on them, whether they be hobbies, talents, things you enjoy. They can be whatever, really. It doesn't matter. It's equally valid. If it made you feel something positive, happy, made you smile, made you laugh, focus on those, think on those. And when something bad happens, it's okay. You don't have to suppress it, and that would be bad to do so because, your feelings will demand to be felt. So go ahead. If you're mad, get mad. If you're sad, you can cry if you want, or whatever it is you need to do. Go ahead and get that out. But don't live in it. Do the opposite. Live in and focus on the things that you want to focus on, the things that make you feel true joy and happiness. Yeah, sure. Find some solutions, try to fix your problems. That's cool too. But focus on those things. I guess you'd say make that the main thing you focus on. The things that you enjoy about your life or that you've experienced in your life that you enjoyed. Things like that. Your passions, your hobbies, your the positive people in your life. Things like that. Focus on them and
Mm-hmm.
make that, and any time you find yourself stuck, I'm going to call this a home state, but return to that home state. So don't get me wrong, get it out a bit. And once you feel like you've gotten it out a good amount, don't get stuck. Return to that home state. And I know people are gonna say easier said than done, and that is so true. I never said it was gonna be easy. In fact, it's the opposite. Life is. Am I allowed to curse? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Life is a dick. It is a royal dick, and it's going to fuck you. What you have to do is say no. No, I'm not going to stay angry. I'm not going to stay sad. I'm gonna get angry when I need to. I'm gonna get sad when I need to. But I'm not gonna stay that way. And I'm going to do everything I can to be happy anyway. And you keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying. And I mean, you gotta try really hard. It's not gonna be easy. It's not. But it's what you have to do if you wanna be happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only real way to live. And a second thing is try to find a goal or a dream. And if you don't have one of those, start with something smaller. So, something small and work your way up. And heck, honestly, if you do have a big dream or big goal, you're going to do the same thing anyway. You're going to drop it down to a more realistic version at first. You can go for the whole enchilada later. But start with something more realistic and then go way down to the first step that you can think of towards it and gradually move towards that goal and make that the main focus of everything you do. don't get me wrong. If you have hobbies, do them. You got a job, keep working. Don't quit your day job. You need income. You got to be practical. But the point is, and this is the real thing, if you want to achieve something, you got to make that the main focus of your life. And that is your main focus, that goal, whatever it is. Or goals if you have more than one, that's fine. But the point is, if you're and do those hobbies, please have fun. If you want to go to and if you need a job, go, don't quit your day job until you have a way to make income from your goal or dream if you want, but don't go right into it. Don't throw it all away. But my point is, when you have the time, make that the main thing you focus on, those goals or those dreams, and they can be anything. You want to be an actor, you want to be a VTuber, you want to be, or if you just want to get married and have kids and that's your thing, cool. That can be a goal too. Whatever yours is, it's valid. Go for it. But that make that a big focus in your life. And just like with the happiness thing, same thing. Something happens that goes wrong. You keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying and you don't give up no matter what. There you go. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's very, very solid advice, and I think that, you know, I could see why like a lot of people found it very inspirational. It's similar to what I had to tell myself for years, and it's similar to some of the advice I had to give myself to be able to uh, put myself into a position today where I feel a lot better about myself, and I'm able to do things I never really thought possible.
Yeah.
But it is very good advice, and I think that if you keep preaching it and you reach a
It's
lot more.
difficult to practice, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but any I have a belief that anybody can form themselves into however they want. All it takes is, and this is something that I love to preach, and something I'll eventually get tattooed on my body one day, is strength of heart. That's the ability to push forward when everything else is not exactly the way that you want it.
By the way, my key to happiness video thing, like I said, I discovered this in 2019, how to be positive and the determination to stick to your goals and stuff, and that's why I chose a phoenix, to be a phoenix. It's a symbol. The negative. See, what had happened is, like I said, I had a bad life growing up, and then it calmed down and it got quiet, but I was still depressed, and I had to learn how to be positive. But the way I look at it, it was like the old negative me died, and I was reborn, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a lot. It's very hard. The world is going to thwart every attempt that you have to make yourself better. You just have to shrug it off. Just wipe the dirt off your shoulders. Pick yourself up after every trip, every fall, and just keep moving forward. Round of applause to Mr. Traveler. Yeah, solid
Aw.
advice. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a very good message, and you should always hold on to it. Okay. I know we discussed this a little bit earlier, but is there a VTuber that you look up to, someone who inspires you?
Zentreya, easily. That's my hero right there. Iron Mouse, to some extent. I'd say Iron Mouse is arguably also one of my heroes, but yeah. But mainly Zentreya, I'd say. Big props to how much she puts into everything she does. She has really big production values. She's just fun, and her interactions with chat are hilarious. Though I admit, my chat's more of a wholesome type, so we're different. We're very different, but we have similar tastes in games and stuff. She seems to be more into like action games and stuff, like I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like we might have kindred spirits, so to speak. And
Mm-hmm.
aside from her, maybe Vesper as well. I feel like because when I remember when he started, and he said he felt like he was among giants, and like and like because he felt like